Cheek. Last week, we talked about the Sylvester Shuffle, which was Glee's take on Super Bowl and football culture, as well as the song Bills, Bills, Bills. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
Ta-da!
Yeah, so hi, this is Cullen.
Allyssa.
Hannah's coming later, and we're here to talk about Glee and get drunk.
Woo!
Welcome to Gleeboot.
I'm so excited to be here.
Special guest Emily.
Yes,
One
hi.
of my dear friends from college is here to talk about Glee with us.
Yes, Glee is very near and dear to my heart. I think it started airing when I was like a freshman in high school. Watched it religiously with my sister, and we adored it. It was just, and then it went off the rails, and we adored it more.
How much of Glee have you watched?
I've seen the entire thing.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen every episode.
Cullen, is Emily the first person we've had on that actually has seen the whole thing?
I think Julia had seen the whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
My apologies, Julia. I had forgotten.
Oh no, I was like so into it.
We have not seen all of Glee.
No?
We're
No.
fake fans.
No spoilers.
Okay, no, I will tell you though, it does go off the rails.
Oh, we know.
Okay, yeah, I was like, it
It's
becomes
not off the rails yet? What?
it just becomes so much more like self-aware, and that it's like a TV show and like so soapy. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Where's this guy?" And it's like the guy from season 1 who had like one cameo, and they're like, "He's missing." Like, I don't know, it's just very.
Yeah, like a snake that eats its own tail. It's just
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So Emily, what are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a lovely red wine, and it's literally called red wine, so I can't get more specific than that.
Wow.
But it's a brand called 19 Crimes that I enjoy very much. It's like an Australian wine, but if you like a good blend, it's a good one.
Cool.
What about you guys? What are you drinking?
I have made myself a daiquiri, a strawberry daiquiri, frozen, of course. Because
Correct.
daiquiris, though you can make them non-frozen, should not be eaten.
I don't think I've ever had one that wasn't frozen.
They exist.
Ew.
Yeah.
This is not a fan.
No, I love frozen drinks. Any drink that can be served frozen should be served frozen.
Okay, I'm into it.
I'm drinking what I'm calling a Fabre firework.
Ooh.
It is a mix of raspberry White Claw and then raspberry lemonade.
Sounds lovely.
It does, doesn't it?
It's very refreshing, and it sizzles in your tongue like fireworks.
Oh, boy.
Oh. Actually, the Fabre firework, yeah, it's a good seg because Quinn is who I got on the quiz.
Ooh.
You got like one of the best characters.
Quinn
Well
Fabre,
done.
I was very pleased. I was like, she's been through some ish, but
Have I actually taken that quiz yet?
I think we just assigned you, Rachel. I don't know
Yes,
if you've
but
taken
I'm
the
trying to
quiz.
think if I actually took it.
I don't think so.
without
Okay.
actually taking it, yeah.
Yes.
And then did you take the Glee boyfriend quiz?
I did. So yeah, in a very like Midwestern corn-fed vibe, I got Sam. So a lot of blonde haired, blue-eyed.
Yay!
Very.
Sam! He's my Glee boyfriend, too.
Oh, good. We can share.
He's my favorite golden retriever boyfriend.
Yes, he is. That's perfect golden retriever boyfriend. Just what a sweetie.
One of the least problematic characters on Glee. So like, congratulations.
This episode in particular, he went through it.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm sure we'll talk about a little. Poor thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, there's so many plots in this episode.
Yeah.
It really
so
is.
many
I thought this
plots.
was a good one to watch. It brought me back.
Yeah, we were like in the thick of season 2 with like all the main characters are here, all the drama and relationships happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, we on Glee Bingo, we got 3 different bingos.
Oh, seriously?
This
Do we have
episode-
different cards?
We do not, which is actually one of the more fascinating things, is that
Well, then
people get different bingos, but we all have the same card.
Okay, I was like, I started halfway through and I wasn't sure. Like, I might have gotten some kind of bingo, but wasn't exactly sure.
Yeah, this
What did
episode
you
was
guys?
full of tropes.
Okay, what did you guys have? I mean, is Tina like always in the background?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much a given.
Yeah, we got Tina's in the background. They cover an 80s song.
Yep.
Will doesn't stop them from saying something offensive.
Yes.
They sing a song from a musical, Funny Valentine.
As from a musical?
Okay.
Isn't it a movie musical?
I don't know.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
didn't think it was. I thought it was. I actually don't know. I can Google it. Although that was probably one of my favorite parts of that episode was her just sobbing through My Funny Valentine.
Brittany says something dumb.
Yes. It is.
Finn says something dumb. Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's from Babes in Arms from 1937, so go Cullen.
Well
Deep
done.
Cut. Someone calls Rachel short or annoying. She calls herself destined to play the title role of Willow.
Yes.
They cover a song that isn't appropriate for teens, which I called Fat Bottom Girls.
Yes.
Someone kisses someone else. We got a lot of that.
A lot of that.
They make a gay joke, because Kurt makes a comment about the guy's hair.
They did about the hair.
Becky appears, and the Glee Club is referred to as the New Directions.
Wait, where's Becky? Oh, Becky.
At the kissing booth.
Yeah.
I always get her confused with the other...
Susie Pepper?
Yes! For some reason, like, their names are switched in my head.
Yeah, she wanted some tongue action from the kissing booth.
Oh, boy.
She got some cheek action.
Yeah, so we got some storylines to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to let's start with the shortest one. Let's start with Rachel.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rachel's storyline really begins, she's having a sleepover with Kurt and Mercedes, which is cute, little best friends. And Kurt is talking about how he made up the whole thing with Blaine. And Rachel's like, if Finn thinks he can walk out of my life, I'm going to show up to the kissing booth with a $100 bill. He won't be able to make change, so he'll have to kiss me 100 times.
This makes no sense. We don't know any of the background going on in any of their stories.
Where should we start that?
I don't know. Let's start with the fact that it's Valentine's Day. This is a Valentine's Day episode.
And Rachel and Finn are currently not together, and they're one of the bigger relationship ties. So they're not together in this episode.
Maybe we'll start with the Finn stuff.
Okay.
I feel like that's like the main backbone.
Yeah, it was like it ties into a lot of things.
Yeah, because it opens with Puck and Lauren's Izies, but I just need some emotional strength to get there.
I was like, I think I crossed off on the bingo, like, makes me cringe, like, 10 times because of the plot with Puck and Lauren's Izies.
Yeah, it's pretty dreadful. But so we start with Finn is doing, like, finger guns down the hallway, talking about how he's, like, a new celebrity because he won the football championship.
Yes, he's the man.
He's the man, yeah.
All the girls want him.
Not Amanda Bynes.
Not she's the man.
Yeah, he's like, so he does finger guns, and all the girls are like, oh.
Yeah, which, like, I think we all did in high school when someone made finger guns. Was to just...
Only if they won championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Championship or finger guns, instant sexiness.
Yeah, I think I'm pregnant now. Yeah.
So he's going down the hall doing that, and he's like, the one girl in school who won't kiss me, though, is Quinn Fabray, and that's the girl that I really want. Maybe things never worked out with Rachel because I never got over Quinn, who was emotionally abusive to me. He doesn't say that, but I put that in there.
Didn't even think it, but...
Yeah, so he wants to break up Quinn and Sam, and he thinks he can do that by doing a kissing booth. So he tells the Glee Club that, like, he's basically the closest thing the school has to a celebrity, and like a famous athlete, he's going to do a kissing booth to raise money for Glee Club. And Mercedes is like, don't even pretend that you're trying to help Glee Club. You just want to kiss a bunch of girls.
Just want to mac on the ladies.
Yeah.
Question though, do we think that he wants Quinn because he actually wants her because she's Quinn, or because she's the only girl that he can't kiss? Because I got the impression during this whole, like, narrative that Finn is telling us as he's walking down the hallway that the only reason he was interested in Quinn was because he couldn't have her.
I could see that. A little bit of both, I think.
Yeah, because I think he's
Just
always
like head cheerleader, and he's like the football cat. Like, it's like, to him, it just makes sense.
Yeah, he's always had feelings for Quinn. And she did kiss him in the last episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. She was
Although,
like, that's what...
did either of your schools ever have a kissing booth? I don't remember that, like, ever being remotely, like, allowed.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
no.
what?
Right, like, set up in the middle of the hallway with, like, a really elaborate, like, plywood booth. Like, you suggested it and then you just made it, or...
These things pop up out of nowhere in the
Right.
It looks like Charlie Brown, like Lucy's the doctor is in.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's like 5 cents, yeah.
Honestly, I have never seen a kissing booth in real life. I've only seen them in TV shows, and most of the time in TV shows, they're at, like, some super small county fair.
Yeah, she's the man.
She's the man. Or
There was
what's that? The Kissing Booth movie.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. See? It's coming up. I've never seen one, but I feel like that'd be so gross.
Yes! Who would do... I mean, especially now that we know about coronavirus. Like, kissing booths are extinct.
I'm gonna pay money to put my mouth on your mouth.
Yeah. Gross.
Yeah. I don't understand what world they come from, but I guess they're
Ohio.
Ohio. Ha! That's a neat
Which is really funny, just like as a general aside, is that my father used to work in Lima, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah, he did like there was a lot of farms, like it was like truly Midwestern. But he used to watch the show sometimes because he thought it was hilarious that it was in Lima.
Yeah, even though it's like definitely shot in LA, like when
Oh,
they
yeah.
show the house.
Oh, it's very, very LA.
Yeah. But yep, it's Lima. Yeah. So yeah, he
Yes.
has this elaborate kissing booth.
Yes.
And he's trying to raise money for Glee Club. And all these
Mhm.
girls are lining up and like freaking out. And like Becky is asking him to be her Valentine. She calls him Finny Bear.
Yum.
She comes up with a bunch of dollar bills and she's like, I want tongue. And then he kisses her on the cheek. Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't it in the beginning where she gives him like a conversation heart to be the Valentine, and he's like, "I'll keep you posted,"
Yes!
and he throws him like a
Yes!
bucket in his locker with a whole bunch of other ones. So like everybody's just like giving him conversation hearts that he's then depositing in his locker.
Everyone wants to be his Valentine.
Yeah,
What is he going to do with all of those conversation hearts? Is he just going to throw them away?
nobody eats those.
No.
They're so gross.
They are gross. Why do they exist?
I think they stopped making them.
They might have just because of the ick
I don't
factor.
know. There was something that happened with this particular candy company that, like, they went bankrupt or somebody bought them, and then, like, there was this whole thing about keeping them running to make conversation hearts because it was such a cultural Valentine's thing.
No, like it makes total sense.
I have nothing to back me up here except a vague pseudo memory of an article that I maybe read. So there you go.
Quality research.
Yeah, it was like, love it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to look it up. I feel like I'm just gonna go with what you say.
Does anyone... Okay, I have a couple of Valentine's Day questions.
Oh, okay.
One, unless you were in a relationship or like in middle school, did you have someone, like, did you specifically find someone to be your Valentine?
No.
No, I don't think I had a Valentine. We had like Valentine grams, which was like the National Honor Society booster. So you paid like $1 and you could write on a card and you got like a heart sucker or something and you could send it like around the school. So I feel like that was like how you flirted with somebody. That's how you were like,
In high
hey,
school?
like, do you want to be my Valentine? But I don't think like it was ever for like the sole purpose of like, I need a Valentine for Valentine's Day.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And then, did you ever use a conversation heart to ask someone to be your Valentine? Because apparently, at West McKinley High School, they're pretty common.
Right, like that's the only thing that you do. No, I don't think I have.
Yeah. Okay. Every once in a while, I have these like homeschooler moments where I'm like, is
Oh,
this
no.
weird, or is this normal and I'm just out of the loop, or is this actually weird? 'Cause it
Colin's just
feels like
passing a
it's weird.
conversation heart to his mom that says like, hug me. She's like, oh, Colin.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I want everyone to know I hate Valentine's Day. It's the worst holiday. I hate it with a passion.
I got all my coworkers. I'm an adult. I got them all Disney Princess Valentines.
Oh, see, you're so cute because I'm a 25-year-old person and I bought all of like the 16-year-olds at my work, all like the banquet servers, Valentines with temporary tattoos, and they were like, what the F? And then they were like, I don't know if do you swear
You
on
can
this?
swear.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they all put on the temporary tattoos. They were like so excited. Like 2 minutes later, I was like, see,
They're fun.
yeah, just love me, okay?
Yeah, so where were we? So kissing booth,
Yes.
and then Quinn comes up to him at the kissing booth and is all like, you're just doing this because you think the peer pressure will get to me and I'll kiss you, but I won't. And then he leans in and is all like, but like you want to. And she's like, I have a boyfriend. And he says, your boyfriend's a boy.
Which I didn't get. I didn't.
No, I didn't understand either. It was
to be
such a weird line.
to be fair, he's also a boy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Like
you're
I
all
don't know
minors.
implying that he was like a man, but
Yeah, is that what it was supposed to be? Because it didn't come off that way at all.
didn't read like that.
And it's just like, thanks for that fact, Finn. You are correct.
Trying to be
I thought my
shady.
boyfriend was a golden retriever.
Yeah, he's trying to be like, I'm a man now, and it's like, ooh,
And you're running a kissing booth in the middle of your hallway.
you just did finger guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, and then Sam sees it, and he comes up to Quinn and is all like, you were in kissing distance within each other. And she's like, I just want to be with you. Like, we were not in kissing distance. And then she's looking through records that they have at their school library. And he's like, what are these? And she's like, records. They used to put music on them.
Yeah, like the people. I don't know, like why that's so crazy. Like they're like, "Ooh, records." You're like, "Ooh, what are those?" Like you've never heard of a record.
Well, to be fair, this was before records, quote unquote, came back.
I guess
So-
before they were hip again, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also just what public school library has records.
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Saying none.
Yeah, and so she's like, I'm looking for a love song for us to sing. Because Mr. Schuster gave them an assignment. He wrote love on the board. And he's like, I have one word for you. And Brittany's like, is it love? And he's like, yes.
This,
Yeah.
this is how far removed I am from like love and love songs and love as a holiday. Because when Mr. Shu put that on the board and told them to think of a love song, all I could think of was, can you feel the love tonight?
That's a good love song.
To be fair,
That's all I
that's a great love song. Might be the love song.
Right? That's it. That's all I could think of.
It's very emotional. Hits all the right points. I think you're
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I don't think you need to know anything else. You're fine.
All right. Good.
So if Alyssa was in Glee Club, that was the song she would be singing.
Yeah. We get it. Yeah.
Totally acceptable now that Glee is owned by Disney.
Yes, now that it is a Fox property and it is a Disney property, because all Fox properties are Disney properties.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to pick a love song to sing in Glee Club, Emily, what would you pick?
Oh man. That's a tough one. Can I mull? I'll come back.
Yeah,
Keep
we'll come
talking and
back
I'll
to
mull.
this.
Because
Yeah,
I like that question, but I want to take it seriously.
it's important. Yeah. And so his assignment is they'll have to partner up and pick a love song to sing to their partner, which doesn't seem like a really PC or appropriate high school Glee Club assignment. But okay,
No.
well, like, let me just remind my single students that they're single.
Right. Just like,
Well done.
Yeah. So that's the overarching like structure. They're all looking for love songs to sing. So, but Sam is wondering why Quinn hasn't kissed Finn at his booth, and she's like, first you're mad at me for kissing Finn, then you're mad at me for not kissing Finn. What do you want? And he's like, it's weird. It's something's fishy about it. He's like, you're ambitious. You want to be with the like top jock at the school. I get that, but like, I love you. And so she's like, okay, well, after Glee Club rehearsal, I'm gonna kiss Finn. You happy? And then she walks away, and he gives this like confused look of like, wait, I got what I wanted, but is it what I wanted?
which is
I
such a
did
high
not.
school mentality, I feel like, is like when you're with somebody and you be like, well, I'll kiss them to prove that I don't have feelings for them. Like now, if like my fiance was like, yeah, I'll kiss that lady to prove, I'd be like, no.
No, thank you.
So,
Alright.
I didn't understand this argument at all. It made no sense.
I feel like just when you're younger and you're like, prove that you don't like them by doing the thing that you would do to show that you would like them in a public setting and making it weirder.
Yeah, very teen.
Maybe I was never a teenager.
Lucky you.
She's like, that never. It also probably didn't come up in the homeschool setting. But...
Yeah, homeschool prom had plenty of drama.
Okay, so and I've chosen. I think I would want Aerosmith, the I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, because it's very like that's like how I feel like middle school, like all that love. Do you know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't want to miss
Yeah,
a thing.
don't want to close my eyes, don't want to fall asleep.
That's a very Glee song to cover.
I feel like that would do it for me.
Yeah.
Sing to Sam, I guess. My Glee boyfriend.
He's almost single by the end of this episode, so
Aww.
snatch him up. Poor baby Sam. So after Glee Club rehearsal, Quinn kisses Finn at the kissing booth, and like Sam runs up to watch. He's like, I want to watch this, and Finn's just like pervert. And it's like, you are running a kissing booth, so...
Yeah.
Again, proving how weird that situation is.
And he's like, I prefer chaperone, which that was like a homeschool trigger word, chaperone.
What?
People were always watching you guys.
There were, like, when people would date, there's the big thing about, like, do you date or do you court? And, like, my dad was always so confused. He was like, what's courting? Kissing in front of your parents? Like, what is this?
The big wooing period, yeah.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
so funny.
Yeah.
So courting is, like, such an old concept.
Yeah, and they would do it. They'd kind of, like, date around their families, and the families would always hang out together. We called it also family dating. It's like the families were dating each other. So it was like you're forming a marriage alliance between, like, France and the Habsburg Empire. Like,
oh no, a nice promenade around the living room.
Yes. Yeah. So there was a big deal about like dates having chaperones.
And
so
wow. Okay.
When he was like chaperone, I was like, Sam, were you homeschooled?
I could get light homeschool vibes from Sam.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wasn't homeschooled, but he was very private schooled, right? He went to an all-boys school?
Yeah, he went to a boys boarding school.
Yes, boarding school.
Okay, so there you go. That's
That's light homeschool vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
then they kiss.
Then they kiss, and there's a shot of fireworks as they're like gazing into each other's eyes. All prepping for an iconic Glee moment that I'm so excited to talk about. But there's fireworks going off.
Yes.
And they're like both in awe of each other. And then they're walking off Sam and Quinn. And then Quinn's like, I forgot my purse. She runs back to Finn and she whispers, meet me at 2 o'clock in the auditorium. And then she runs back to Sam. And so,
Which, if you were watching that, wouldn't you be like, what did you just say? Like, she was not being subtle.
If I was chaperoning my boyfriend or girlfriend and watching them kiss another person,
as one does,
I'd be like, this is suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little shady. And then, so then in Glee Club, Santana's salty that she's single on Valentine's Day, and she sees like Quinn is like smirking and Finn is making like this weird, she calls it a gassy infant look that he makes me feels guilty. And she realizes that like, oh, they're totally hooking up. And she's like, oh, time to do what I do best, revenge. Because Finn called her out when she said, at the beginning of the episode when he was doing a kissing booth, she was like, I would not pay $1 to kiss Finn, but I would pay $50 to jiggle one of his man boobs. And he's like, don't you get tired of beating people down? And then everyone gets on her. Like this is
an episode where she was particularly nasty. Yeah. But I love Santana as a character. She's one of my favorite characters. Because I think she's just, like, so, like, well fleshed out. And, like, all of her motivations, like, align from beginning to end. Where she has, like, redemption arcs. But, like, at the same time, she's still, like, from Lima Heights adjacent.
Yeah, because, like, Quinn is like, he's right. You said I was going to have a lizard baby. And she's like, you guys love me. I keep it real and I'm hilarious. And Lauren Zizes is like, actually, you're just a bitch. Yeah. Which, like, she did not get kicked out of or sent to the principal's office for saying her fellow classmate was a bitch.
Well, like, she was probably like, you get it, girl. The library is open. Red to fill.
Yeah, he's basically a teenager. He has, like, no control over this classroom. And then they're all like, Rachel's like, maybe I am destined to play the title role in the Broadway production of Willow, but the only job you'll have is working on a pole. And Santana is understandably upset and runs out, and Will just kind of stands there like, Santana, not like, Rachel, Lauren, your behavior is unacceptable.
Yeah,
don't talk like that.
Don't talk to people like that.
That was really mean.
It was mean, yeah.
It was, like, really mean from Rachel.
Yeah, I was like, it was all mean, all around.
Yeah.
And so Santana's crying in the hallway, and Brittany's comforting her. She's like, try rocking back and forth. People do that in movies. And she's like, I just want to be honest with people when I think that they suck.
Yeah, I love that, where she was like, I'm just completely honest about everyone else sucking.
It's such a great Santana line.
It is.
So Santana has it out for Finn because he kind of started people like, why are you always putting people down? And then it escalated. But she has it out for Finn, so she's like, oh, it's time for revenge. So she dresses up in a Candy Striper Halloween costume.
The sexiest Candy Striper costume that you should never sell to a minor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where she bought that.
She says she gets it from volunteering at the hospital.
Yeah. No.
I'm like...
She got it on Yandy.com with her mom's credit card.
That's more realistic.
Yes.
And she walks in...
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, she just walks into the school nurse and it's just like, any people you need help taking care of? And then she's like, oh, he has mono. He's waiting for his mom to pick him up. Just some random guy. And she's like, oh, I'm going to come in. And she's like, he's highly contagious. And she's like, I've had mono so many times, it's turned into stereo.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Which, yeah, is a classic. Also, like, don't be giving out that information. Like, that's a bad secretary to just be like...
Oh, the school nurse?
Yeah. Front desk lady. Yeah, just giving out patient information.
Yeah.
Casually. Well, she was in a Candy Stripper outfit, so she's official.
Oh, okay, yeah. The ruse is working.
Yeah. And so she walks in and she just kisses this sick kid. And he's like, thank you.
Who truly did look I'm gonna say gross. Like that kid, like I think all those people on that show look so pretty, and then he was just like this kid that I was like, oh my god, this poor kid. He's like having to be like the sickly mono kid. Like I was like, oh man, if that had to be on like your acting credits, you're like,
But he did his job. He looked like a sick mono kid.
he did. He was great, and I was like, thank
And
you.
for that extra.
Yep. And then he thanked her.
Yeah, that is like, I'm gonna be on Glee. Oh, great, honey. What role did you get? Sick mono kid. Yeah, he thanked her, and she walks off, and then she walks up to Finn. She cuts the kissing booth line, doesn't even pay $1, and kisses Finn. So
A pretty
Revel
steamy
was
one too.
Yeah, because tongue had to be involved.
She had to make sure it worked.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that's how mono actually works.
But I buy it. I'm like, sure.
Far be it from me.
Dr. Ryan Murphy, tell me how mono works.
Yeah, that she's just a carrier
Only
because she
contagious
has
if you kiss them.
stereo, not mono.
Yes.
When I had mono, or I thought I had mono as a kid, and as a homeschool child, I thought that mono was an STD.
Oh no!
So my mom's like, I think you have mono. I was like, Mom, how did I get an STD?
Oh no! I had mono. Mono sucks.
Yeah, it's
What did your mom say?
She's like, it's just a kissing disease. It's not an STD. And she's like, you get it through sharing spit.
Yeah, but you can get it through like sharing drinks and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
she's not like so shady, but that's really funny.
Yeah.
Just so nervous about it.
Yeah. So she kisses Finn, and then when Finn and Quinn have their meetup in the auditorium at 2 p.m., which is the middle of the school day.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I was like, school usually ends at like what, 3?
Yeah. So they're meeting in the auditorium, and she says she came from church. So apparently she took a pit stop outside of school.
Wait,
To
what?
go to church. She says she came from church because she was praying for the strength, and he's like to come, and she's like not to.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
which is
so
like really sophisticated banter for high school students. Like I don't know, like I was not cool when I was in high school. It was very awkward, but like I don't think I would have ever like been like I was praying for this, and he was like to come, and he was like to not come.
Yeah, it's very like Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's talking about, you realize if I do this with you, that means you'll make me a cheater. And the thing that hurt you so much when I did it, and when Rachel did it, you broke up with us. And he has this thing where he's like, the thing about cheating is it means you don't love the person, at least not enough not to hurt them. And she's like, I love Sam. And he's like, do you? And she's like, can I be in love with 2 people at once? Like, I'm not sure. And she's like, until I'm certain, like, I'm not going to break up with Sam. But then they do kiss. There is some tongue action. It's implied. So, and as they do this whole scene, they're like walking in circles around this random light in the middle of the auditorium.
Yeah, weird.
The ghost light?
Like
It's like
somebody had a spotlight, or like it's just like a light, like a floor light,
oh,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like a floor lamp.
Yeah, so
No, was it the ghost light?
the white thing?
Was it a floor lamp in the middle of the stage?
Yeah,
That's a ghost light.
sure.
You tell me.
Yeah.
What, did it have a lampshade though?
No.
Can't
That's
recall.
probably, I think it's called a ghost light.
Yeah, sounds right.
You
Although,
do
like-
lights more than I do though.
Yeah, but I have a very low-tech budget.
Although I did think that it was a fair point that Quinn made, and then she just immediately like went back on
No,
it.
yeah, this whole conversation was really weird about cheating and stuff because Quinn was like, you want me to cheat on Sam. And then, I don't know, Finn...
Finn's
Right, like-
logic made no sense.
No, it didn't make
Yeah.
any sense at all. And his maturity level, like, went down 5 or 6 notches.
Yes,
From
very
that
much
peak
just
Finn.
like
Finger guns maturity.
Yeah.
Yes, finger guns. When it's something that I want, then I'm willing to bend with the words to say, like, whatever will get you to kiss me.
And it's not even like, I don't know. For me, I feel like he should have more compassion for his friend.
Because he is friends with Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a lack of empathy there.
Yeah, especially when his best friend was previously Puck.
Yeah,
Right.
Who
Who
cheated.
cheated on him. Or cheated.
Who-
Well,
who
I guess.
Quinn cheated on him
Yeah.
Cheated on their friendship.
by cheating with his girlfriend.
Yes,
He did,
so
yeah.
it's all happening all
It was a
over
betrayal.
again.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for Finn to want to cheat with Quinn, and then for Quinn to be down with it. But the writers spoke, and it happened.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Finn and Quinn kiss, and then they both get mono. Like we have Tina singing "Funny Valentine,"
Sobbing.
So she just starts breaking down, crying, collapsing on the floor, and it's so awkward. And Finn and Quinn are both sick and like gazing ahead. They look like they're about to vomit. And just
Which I
keeps-
don't think that's like, it just works immediately. Like, I assume it's like the same day or the same span of days because it's Valentine's Day, right? Or it's like coming
Yeah.
up on Valentine's Day. So I thought it was like the next day
It might be the next day. I don't know.
to show so many symptoms. Although I literally could not just get over Tina's, like, I didn't understand why she was
Tina-
crying for a second. Then she was like, my love. I'm like, she's so strong.
That song, first of all, is not like a song that you would cry during. I was listening to the lyrics that Tina was talking about, and then I was just like, wait, this isn't particularly heart-wrenching or anything.
Yeah, she just was sad. Hannah, are you there?
She is.
I am.
Hannah, welcome!
Hi. I've been sitting here for like a minute, just like listening. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna let them know I'm here. Just like intro me, and then you guys kept talking. I was like, cool. I'm gonna be here forever in silence.
No, we want your take on Tina singing "My Funny Valentine."
Oh my god, I actually thought it was really funny, even though it was really uncomfortable. There was like other stuff going on in the scene, so like watching Tina was a little bit distracting, but a welcome
Oh,
distraction.
I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was the best part
So
of the
good.
whole. Just because that's the song she chose, which is like pretty classic as far as love songs go, and it's not truly like, I don't know, and that romantic, but just to like completely be overwhelmed by it.
She's just overwhelmed
Her
by
love,
love you,
emotion.
Mike
her Mike
Chang.
Chang.
Which, to be fair, I love Mike Chang too. So
Yeah,
Are you overwhelmed by your emotion for him?
yes.
Yeah. And then Will Schuester was like, "Ooh, powerful."
Powerful.
I was like, too powerful, and I'm like, shoo, what?
And then Finn and Quinn they both want to go to the nurse, and Santana's like, oh, do you have these symptoms? That's mono, or the kissing disease. But you know what helps spread it? A little tongue. And Sam's like, well, I saw them kiss, and there was no tongue. And Quinn's like, can we stop talking about tonguing, and we'll just go to the nurse. So Finn and Quinn leave to go to the nurse.
Which was
and
an
so-
epic mic drop. Which again, though, Will Schuester should be like, "Can we not?"
Yeah, it's just not appropriate. And then they walk. They cut to them in the nurse's office, and the nurse, as Alyssa pointed out, can just diagnose that they have mono.
Yeah, they have mono. They're going home now.
Which is
And-
not the case.
Yeah, she's a qualified healthcare
I can give
practitioner.
you direct experience. I was diagnosed with strep throat before I was diagnosed with mono, and I had a full body allergic reaction to the medication they gave me for strep because it wasn't strep, it was mono.
I am telling
Oh my
you.
god.
So they should
The
have
entire
done that.
medical, just like doctors and medical staff, like nobody wants to tell you this, and I'm sorry for everyone who's going to disagree with me. It's mostly just guessing. You have to
Right,
go through a ton
yeah.
of school and like and have a lot of knowledge, but
Well,
you're guessing.
At the
It's
end
a
of the day,
guessing
it could be a variety. It could be a lot of things. So for like that nurse to just be like, that kid had mono and he got picked up and now you two have mono. Like,
well, I mean, I went to school once, and
just
once, a single
one time. She hated it.
I'm a genius. I passed every single grade in one day. And I had a fever, but I didn't know it because the rule at our house was if you have a fever, you're bleeding profusely. Wow. Or you're throwing up.
Unless you bleeding?
Yes, unless you have a fever, you're bleeding profusely, or you're throwing up, you go to school.
Oh,
that
okay,
was the
wow.
rule. Yes. So, our thermometer was broken,
Rough
and I
stuff.
went to school because I didn't have a fever until I went to the nurse's office, and she was like, "You have a fever of 102. What are you doing here?"
Oh my god.
And you're like, well, I wasn't throwing up.
And I didn't have a fever, according to our broken thermometer.
So you thought.
My mother felt really bad.
And now we put her on blast on this podcast.
Yes, we did.
It's not her fault, though. I think that's a solid rule. Like, I think that's kind of what my parents did, was that, like, they're like, if you're not, like, sick, you're gonna go to school, which, like, I guess is a solid rule to keep kids from, like, faking it, but also giving our topical what's going on now. Now I'm like, maybe I'll be a little more lenient with my kids. I don't know.
Yeah. With all the children you have, Hannah.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, with all the children I may have, I could have, I do have, who knows?
Oh, no.
We don't even have schools right now, so...
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put a hold on that one.
Which, and I don't know if my school even had a nurse's office. Like, I literally don't think that you could, like, be sent to the nurse's office. I think it was, like, you're going home. Like, I went to a really, like, low budget, like, this building was, like, built in the 1950s, but, like, I see them, like, lying on cots, like, next to each other in this room. Yeah. And I was like, I don't remember any, like, room like that in my school that you could just, like...
Yeah. There's, like, 3 rooms to that nurse's office. There's the COTS room, there's, like, where you enter, and then there's, like, a little setup of, like, behind the curtains of, like, all the medical supplies.
Yeah, where the first mono kid was.
Oh, that's swanky.
Yeah, we had a nurse's office in my school, but it was really small. Like, really, really small.
Yeah.
Like, a glorified closet, really.
And then what? Quinn's talking about how punished she is for all of her deeds.
Yeah. She says that the first time I cheated, I got pregnant. The second time I got mono. I think the universe is trying to tell me something. And I just...
That, and Glee is like, women shouldn't cheat or they'll suffer.
They'll be punished. I do love Finn is lying there and his, like, half of his feet are, like, lying off the cot. And I found that very relatable.
Tall people problem.
Tall people problem, yeah. And so their moms come, so they're sick. They got mono. So that's really the end of the Finn and Quinn plot line. The rest is part of Rachel.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
So do you have any comments, Hannah, before we move on the Finn and Quinn stuff?
Oh, it made me so uncomfy. And I'm really glad that, like, Quinn ended up bringing up the fact that she was like, Finn, how can you be okay with this when you're so okay you weren't okay with it when I did it and then when Rachel did it. But, like, I kind of felt like Finn didn't really get his comeuppance. I mean, he did get sick, but in terms of, like, the hypocrisy, it's still kind of underlying and still there. That makes me uncomfortable, and I feel bad for Sam because he's just a good boy, and he's trying to, like, be really nice to her. He's genuinely, like, really nice to her, and then this happens because
we did say that earlier, that it was kind of, like, indicative of, like, Finn's kind of immature, mindset that like goes back to the beginning where he's doing like the finger guns at all the girls in school, and he's just, you know, getting a little big for his
Ugh.
britches, maybe.
It's really weird because like last episode he was all like wholesome leader, and now he's like, I don't know, it's
Power
like letting
back
it
to
go
his
to his
head.
head. It's so crazy.
Why is it that power always begets more power?
That's very
Mm.
deep for this.
Glee
For this
takes us to
episode.
some dark places.
Power corrupts
Gleeboot
the
is like the
mind.
power dynamic.
You heard
of-
it here. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's uncomfy and I don't like it.
Sam's
Super
human betrayed him.
He's human. Yeah.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah, his human betrayed him.
So,
And now he may have a new owner.
We
Mm.
don't know.
I mean,
No.
there's a
No
look that happens.
spoilers.
I'm not spoiling it. It's in this episode.
yeah. Before we move on to I think let's tackle Rachel next.
Let's tackle
To
her
the ground.
to the ground.
Two news pieces proving that the world is ending. One is that Smash is coming to Broadway.
Shut the F up.
I don't want to believe it. I'm not gonna believe it. I can't for my mental
Cole and I
health
have
sake.
had so many conversations about Smash.
Oh.
Oh God, Deborah Messing, all those scarves.
Oh yeah, there needs to be a whole number
I think
about scarves.
it would be completely missed opportunity if they don't do a whole number on scarves.
It needs to be self-referential and like making fun of itself. That's the only way I will accept it.
Yeah. And Catherine McPhee needs to be in it. She's auditioning.
I would find that greatly, and yeah, just bring all the people in it. So enjoyable. LOL.
Oh, Smash. And
What if it turns out that they just do every single episode just on stage? Like, what if
Just
that's
like
all
a-
the
it? You have to
numbers.
sit through 30 hours of Smash, or however many episodes it is.
I would walk out by the time you got to the Joe DiMaggio number,
Oh my
the
god.
baseball number.
yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, swinging back. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your other piece of news?
That Ryan Murphy has talked about rebooting Glee.
I saw that.
Which
It's
is
our
I'm
idea.
dying!
You can't take it from us.
I'm dying inside!
With
Google
Leah Michelle,
keeps
right?
throwing
But also Ben
Leah
Platt.
Michelle, his other favorite Ben Platt, and his other favorite Beanie Feldstein.
Yes.
Feldstein.
Yeah.
I can't
All
pronounce it.
adults, all
Because,
very
like,
much
those two
grown
are
up.
pairs.
No, I don't understand why they would
Yeah.
recast the same people for the same parts. It makes no sense.
I don't think it was recasting characters, or wasn't like
Leah Michelle
wouldn't
would
Ben
still
Ben
be
Platt's
Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think anybody,
yeah, it would probably still be Rachel.
anyone else. Although
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't mention Darren Criss, because like he's also really like involved in all of Ryan Murphy's works.
Yeah.
So I feel like he'd be back
Maybe
for like
Darren's like, I
a
don't.
cameo or two.
He's like, I don't want to be Blaine.
He's like,
again."
I'm good. I killed Versace. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's like I've moved on.
I can't even imagine it. I don't want to imagine it with all of these adult people. Why can't we have some new young blood?
Yeah.
I
Let's
feel
wait.
like it would be like how they're imagining the new like Lizzie McGuire like reboot is gonna be.
Oh,
Like where it's like Rachel gets an
oh
IUD.
my god, Rachel's like a teacher.
Just like
Oh,
weird
God.
situations that are like adult, like contemporary millennial life or something.
Oh man.
I
But
just
then
think
there's
they
also
should-
musical number.
They should wait 5 more years so then I can be ready to reboot Glee.
So you
So
will
I can do
watch
it.
the entire thing,
I'll have
and
watched.
you're like prepared.
Yeah, I'm mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to embark on the Gleeboot voyage. And us 3 will rewrite Glee. Ryan Murphy will get a credit. That's it.
He will get
Yeah.
a credit. Based on the works of Ryan Murphy.
Can I have a role maybe as sickly mono girl?
Yes.
And I can get a good old smooch, and that's
We're
it.
gonna write up a contract for you.
Done.
It'll be in our pitch. It'll be like,
Or you could be part of the recurring band that shows up. Do you play an instrument?
I played the cornet from 5th grade to like
Perfect.
10th grade, so
all you have to do is mime it.
Perfect.
yeah. Deal.
Exactly.
Perfect. She'll be sickly mono girl and band girl.
You're officially attached to the project.
Oh man, it's like I'm in high school again.
That's the headspace we need you in. You can do this.
Oh boy.
So let's tackle Rachel to the ground. So as I mentioned earlier, when I thought tackling her storyline first would be a good idea, she's at a sleepover with Mercedes and Kurt. And Kurt is talking about Blaine. And Rachel is like, I'm going to go to Finn's kissing booth. I'm going to take $100. He won't have change. I'm going to make him kiss me 100 times and he'll fall back in love with me.
That's disgusting.
Which is also really improbable, seeing as how long those lines were. I feel like there would be rioting if there was a demand for 100 kisses for one
True.
customer. I think everyone who was in the line and then they like did that switch to like out of business or whatever, like they're out. Like everyone was so annoyed. They were like couldn't get their kiss.
Yeah, and like Finn has to go to class, I'm assuming. And so do these
So
other
he's doing
students.
this in like
he can't
4-minute
just stand
spurts.
there.
He kissed 300 girls
God.
in 4-minute spurts throughout the day.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do the math on that.
there were
Okay,
some
4
hefty
minutes.
lines.
Let's just say they have 7 classes a day. That's about
Mhm.
right for high school, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
4 times 7. 24.
28.
28.
20.
We're just
you
gonna
had
ignore that.
28 minutes to kiss 300 girls. How does that? What's the math on that?
300
Was it
divided
over
by-
multiple days?
Oh.
Yes, I think it was over
yes,
the whole
over the
week.
okay.
Because it wasn't just Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. It was
I was like, that would be
Valentine's
10
week.
girls. It'd be about just under 11 girls a minute,
That's
Which
a
is
lot.
quite-
Wow.
Whoa.
which is a
He would just be like pursing his lips and people would just come by and quickly smooch
a
his-
drive-by.
Yeah. Drive-by
Yeah.
And then he
smooching.
covers, this is not a drive-by by train.
Yes, exactly. I felt really uncomfortable of like all of the things that Rachel was saying about Finn this whole episode, but like that is really like where it starts and it just gets like worse as she puts this plan into action. I just like it's just like one of those things that immediately you think, okay, if a guy were to have said this, that person would be in prison.
Well,
But like,
no.
yeah.
They wouldn't. Because patriarchy. But
Well, yeah.
they should.
Well,
be.
no, but I'm saying like
Hannah's like, but
it would
I
be
would put
sexual
it in
harassment.
prison. It would.
Right, but what I'm saying is that like it would obviously be considered sexual harassment, but like this is a joke because it's a girl. It's just like
Yeah.
one of those immediate things where you just realize like, wow, this is a complete like a total different situation if her gender was different.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, no one says like, "Hey, Rachel, that's really fucking creepy."
Yeah.
So she keeps
No,
to do it.
nobody does second guess that plan. Nobody says it's a great plan either, but everyone just
They're just like,
busting
that's
through
improbable,
it.
not it's gross.
They're like,
She's so obsessive. Like, she's obsessive with
Yeah.
everything, which is maybe why it didn't hit me so, like, intensely.
that
it's
she's just
like,
so
Rachel's
dramatic.
being Rachel, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
The hyperbole of
makes me
course she's
nauseous.
gonna get $100 bill and he can't make change for some reason. Even though he's been kissing people
All day.
all week.
Yeah. But Mercedes is like, you guys are so boy crazy. Look at our idols. Whitney Houston, Barbara.
Right, now we're back at the sleepover.
Yeah, we're back at the sleepover. Barbara, Patti LuPone.
Well, we're still at the
Wait,
sleepover.
we were talking about the sleepover?
Yeah, we're still at the sleepover.
I'm not even in the same house.
She's drunk.
On that
Get off
daiquiri.
Get off your daiquiris.
It's gone. That thing was gone a while ago.
She's like, I finished that in 7 minutes.
Faster than think that these girls.
Boom, boom. That's our new ranking of time. You think that's faster than Finn could kiss girls?
Yes.
So Mercedes is like, you guys need to focus on your career and pursuing your dreams and less on like boys. And Rachel takes that and she tells that to Finn when she comes up to the kissing booth. Because he's like, are you sure this is a good idea? And she's like, oh, I'm over you or any man that's going to slow down my career and keep me attached to Lima. And he's like, okay. And he gives her a kiss on the cheek. And she's like, on the cheek? I wanted $1 kiss. And he's like, I thought you were over me. And she's like, so what? Do you want me to say I'm still in love with you? I'm still in love with you. I think you need to forgive me. And he gives her Christmas present that he ordered, which is a star necklace, and says, you're a star, Rachel. I believe in you. You're going to leave Lima, and you don't need me or any other boy holding you down. I think you should be single.
Which is like almost a pretty sincere moment for like the context of that entire episode, which I thought was like, there was a lot of ridiculousness.
It was a sweet moment.
Yeah, it was very jarring, but also like I felt really weird. Like, why did he have that gift for her?
He did just keep it like behind the kissing booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew she was coming.
And like, why did he even give it to her? Like, it's just gonna complicate things.
This is one of the things that's so weird, like specifically with Finn in this episode, is that he's so immature when it comes to Quinn, but he's acting somehow extremely mature when it comes to Rachel. Because I would imagine this.
Yeah, it's weird.
Even if he had that gift, he would probably wield it in a very teenage revenge way. You know, like, I bought you this for Christmas, and you know what? Here it is, because you're never gonna leave Lima, and you always need, you know.
Finn would never be that mean.
Yeah.
But I get the sentiment behind it. I get what you're saying. Like, I don't know if, that you don't think it would be more like a throwing it at her, like, you did this to me and I felt jaded and I had this for you, so just take it because I don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
But instead it kind of turned into a really sweet, like, like, you are a shining star and you have, so much greatness in you, and I recognize that. And I'm like, sorry it didn't work out at this time, but...
Yeah, it feels like, especially just in this episode, his maturity levels are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Those hormones.
Yeah.
Those conversation hearts he's chewing on.
Yeah, I feel like he probably would have been like, you know what? I trusted you. I thought you were great. And I bought you this because I wanted to show you how great you are. But you know what? Here it is. Now you can think of me and how disappointed I was in you, or something like that. I just, like, obviously something not that mean, but like, there would be definitely something like that behind it. I think it would be more dramatic.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever had like presents for people that like didn't like work out? I don't know if that's like a situation that many people are in. Like, I don't know what I would do. I don't think I've ever had like I bought someone a Christmas present and then we broke up, and then you're just like stuck with this thing that you specifically like thought to get them, and you still like care about them in some way, because I mean, Christmas and Valentine's Day, it's not that far, but then like, what do you do? I just carry it with you wherever you go.
Return receipts are a thing. Like, you can return things.
Not in Lima.
Like that, and like that necklace, if he had it at Christmas, it would have been more interesting if it was in the Christmas episode and that moment happened then. Because right now, it's just like, obviously they wrote it in for this episode.
I thought it was sweet. I liked the moment.
I thought it was
I have had gifts for people that I just, I got a gift for someone and then we just didn't continue talking. I kept it. Perfectly good gift that I could use.
Oh, you kept it to like maybe give to someone else? Yeah, like
no, I kept it for myself.
Practical. Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Even more practical. Like, hanging on to it until somebody
I was going to use it. I don't get people things that they
gift giving tips. gift giving tips from Gleeboot. If you're gonna buy someone something, just in case, buy something that you would also want to use for yourself in case it doesn't work out.
It's
Just have
perfect.
something that you also like.
Now I'm just imagining Finn wearing that star around. It's like,
I'll
because
be
I'm a
rocking
star.
Out of spite.
I'm the star quarterback. Can't you see?
I could honestly see that happen.
That'll happen to Gleeboot. That'd be a funny episode.
I was gonna say that's in the Gleeboot. He's like, I had this for you. You know what? I'm the star. I helped I helped Glee come together. I helped the football team. I'm
Raising
gonna wear
all
this
of this
star necklace.
money.
And then it's like,
Mine now.
it's still like it's a little too tight because he's a boy.
Yeah, it's like one of those where it's like really just barely hanging off the neck.
It's basically a choker.
That'd be a funny gag. Some visual
like it.
comedy for you.
Love it.
So then,
Although, like, it was crazy that she just like screamed in the hallway that she loved him. Like, I feel like that's
Yeah,
so
that was
bold.
embarrassing.
Like, so bold.
I cringed.
yeah. So then she somehow gets into the nurse's office when Finn is lying asleep with Mono, and it's just putting a cloth on his head. And
Yeah, which is weird. Because where did you get that? And how did you get in?
True.
And why are you touching
And
me?
like, why are you here?
Yeah, and she's like, I do this for anyone. And I'm like, would you, Rachel?
No, she wouldn't. Oh. Okay, question. I have never seen the cloth on someone's forehead in Western culture.
You've never done that?
In
What?
Western culture.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
To whom?
Myself.
Oh.
Wait, are you talking about like in real life or,
No, I'm
or like
talking about on screen.
I've
But-
seen that and stuff.
Really? I've seen it in a bunch of like British things.
Interesting.
Like
No,
old
I'm
school
just
British
used to it
things.
being in, like, Asian.
I feel like if you're sick in like a Victorian novel.
Yeah,
Yes,
maybe. I don't
exactly.
know. I was always doing like warm compresses, cold compresses.
Ah.
and
for
was all
my
about the
for my
compresses.
delicate sensibilities.
I just slept. I sleep when I'm sick.
That's
That's so
it.
good for you. Healthy. Good choices. And so she's like, Quinn just left. Quinn is prettier than me. He's like, don't say that, Rachel. You're beautiful. She's like, she's prettier than me, and I know it. And it meant so much to me that you picked me over her, because girls like me don't get picked over her. Girls like her all the time. And I'm like,
Dramatic
also-
AF.
yeah, especially when you're...
Rachel's also
Yeah,
really beautiful.
She is. And it pisses me off that they're like,
A girl like
it's,
me.
yeah,
You're gorgeous.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. This is one of those shows where, again, I like you see all these like people and like there's like zero acne and everyone has like good hair. Like, dude, like
if
barely when
someone
I
is-
got
yeah, it's
in
like
high school.
Still obviously try to make someone beautiful than this other beautiful person. And I'm like, wow, thanks.
Mhm.
like I couldn't even remember to get like the back of my head if I flat ironed it. And so there's just like one like crimpy frizzy piece. like why
Oh,
are we
yeah.
not talking
Been
about how uncute that was?
Yeah, so, yeah, typical Hollywood. I'm apparently ugly, and she's like, what did it feel like when you kissed Quinn? And he's like, fireworks. She's like, what did you feel like when you kissed me? And he's silent, and she's like, thank you for letting me go. And he's like, Rachel, I'm just confused in my head. And she's like, thank you for giving me inspiration for this week's love song. And then she sings the most iconic love song
I was like,
of all time.
That was literally the worst transition in the story. I was like, I hate this so much. Although I have to say, like, that moment when she asks him and he like goes quiet and she like kind of like teared up, like that kind of broke my heart. That was really, really emotionally impactful. And then she's like, thank you for giving me inspiration for this week's assignment. I was like, I forgot there was an assignment. And now you're going to sing Katy Perry.
although that
wanted
is
to know-
when I crossed off, they sing a bop. Is when she starts.
Oh, really?
I was like,
Interesting.
man, this is a bop.
Have you guys talked about Kurt and Blaine?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
I want to know.
So we'll get to my bop then.
We will eventually, but what I want to know is what Finn was gonna say that she kissed like because I was waiting for him to think of something, and I wanted to know what he thought her kiss was like. Like, if it's not fireworks, what is it?
A shining star.
A shining star? Maybe
Tuna.
it's like something
Tuna.
really
Tuna.
random.
It's just bad.
I kind of want to know what his like loopy sick self would say instead of like
She
he'd be
didn't
like,
give
it's
him
like a
enough time.
flowing river.
I really want that was like ripe for comedy.
Because she assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I have to move the scene along. I have to go sing Katy Perry.
Katy
She's
Perry
like,
is
I composed a whole piece. Let me just.
Katy Perry is an American treasure. This is my new favorite love song, Firework. I love the song Firework.
It's a good song. I don't think it's a love
So
song.
it's a loose interpretation of a love song. Like it's like a love song
I
about
thought it was more
yourself,
like a self-love
right?
song. That was kind of like the point.
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
was more just like, do you ever feel like so like helpless and like you know, insignificant, but like you're not. You're firework.
Like a
yes, like
plastic
a plastic bag drifting through the wind. But
Yeah. It's like a loose interpretation of probably what she was going for. And like I understand it.
It was a bop. She sang Firework. People were holding lighters randomly in the back.
yeah,
Like
I was
Sparklers.
the whole mood.
Sparkler. I'm like, why do these children have sparklers
It's a
in the
fantasy
building?
sequence.
What's going on?
Because she's in a different outfit, so it's like a
Or
fantasy.
was it?
Or was it?
Because we all know
Because
that.
you know how they love to treat the
Well, they have
hallways
this unlimited,
like trash.
unlimited budget. Which this is not a spoiler, but as you continue, like the Glee Club's like production budget comes very much like into question almost like every episode.
As if it wasn't already. I have one number in particular, and I cannot wait to bitch about it.
Because like by the time you get to like season like 6 or something, they're like, what is happening?
Yeah. Fireworks a bop. Love Katy Perry. When I saw her in
Lots of
when I
squid
saw Katy
singing.
Perry in concert, she sang it floating on a giant hand. Yeah. She sang it like a minor key.
Wait, was that the concert that you invited me
Yeah.
to, and I couldn't go?
You
Oh,
And
missed
don't you
Damn, I
regret
could've seen her
it?
on
on a giant hand.
I do. I wanted to see her floating on a giant
Singing
hand.
Firework. It was the finale, like when everyone like applauses and you come back. The encore. That's
Yes.
what
The
it's called.
encore.
Yes.
And now she's
Firework.
having Orlando Bloom's baby.
Yep.
And that's
What?
amazing.
What an American sweetheart.
I know.
And so she sings Firework, and she has Tina and Mercedes singing with her. And it ends, she's attending Kurt's event, which will lead into, do we want to talk about Kurt and Blaine next?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kurt and Blaine are at the coffee shop that they apparently always go to. And
Which is like when? That's like my whole biggest thing with like
Yeah.
school. Like, are you going
What
before
time of the day?
school or are you going after school? Like, I never drank coffee past 3 p.m.
I never drank coffee in high school.
I definitely didn't think it
maybe
like a
this is
medium
like-
drip like he did.
Maybe they meet like somewhere and then like he carpools with Blaine because he's got to drive like an hour and a half from fucking
That's
Lima to get to the school every day. So I could understand why he would need a coffee then.
If
Maybe.
they get coffee every day, where in the heck is that money coming from? Because I sure did not have that money in high school.
Great question.
Feel,
Blaine's
yeah, I was
buying
like,
it
maybe
for
like an
him.
allowance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blaine buys it in the beginning, and then Kurt buys it
Mhm.
by the end of the episode.
that auto shop money is rolling in.
Yeah, but maybe he gets an allowance or
Mm.
he sells purses online. We don't know.
It's all off
Get this
screen.
somewhere. Get
It's all
this
off
somewhere.
screen.
I
It's
would
all
like
off
Kurt to have like an underground like black market for like designer handbags.
Oh, that would be so great. That's great. That's a
I
great
think that
subplot.
would, you know, he gets in over his head on some like Hermes scarves or something.
Yes,
Wait.
scarves,
Can he
100%
be
Hermes
making
scarves.
knockoffs?
He could. Maybe that's part of it.
Like that's it. He's so
Oh my
good
god.
at
Crafting.
making sure everything looks perfect that he makes the best knockoffs.
Wow.
And he'll sing Poker Face. as he
Yes!
Properly. He'll sing
Yes!
it properly.
Oh no.
And not with his mother.
Yeah.
Who is dead. Is she going to be dead in the Gleeboot?
Yeah,
Have we
so then we
decided?
can have Bert and Carol.
True.
Yeah.
Poor
Sorry.
Carol.
Sorry, Kurt's mom.
So Blaine loves Valentine's Day. Kurt's annoyed by it. All the decorations, and Blaine's like, people have been celebrating Valentine's Day for centuries. There's nothing better than a day of just saying, I'm in love with you. And he knows Kurt's coffee order and he buys it for him. And Kurt is all like, ooh. And he's like, is this when Blaine is like, I want to sing to...
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's during this conversation where Blaine is like, so there's this guy that I really like,
Yeah.
and I want to do something to tell him that I like him, but I don't know what to do.
The grand
think-
gesture.
Yes. Do you think that singing a song would be too much? And Kurt, of course, is
Was like,
thinking to himself,
Hell
a song
no.
is great. Also, the person that you want to tell this to is probably me, right? Of course, he doesn't say that. It's all internal.
Dude, if
Yeah.
someone like was like, oh, maybe he'll split a cookie with me, I'd be like, we're in love.
Yeah. A Cupid cookie?
Are we
Oh my God,
getting
yeah.
married or
Yeah. We're splitting a Cupid cookie.
Yeah.
What are we?
define the
DTR.
relationship? Yeah.
So then Kurt's like, I guess I have a new favorite holiday. And then he's at Dolph.
But he says it to the barista weirdly. And the barista, I wanted a shot on the barista who was like, I don't fucking care. Next.
Yes, please.
The barista's a character in the Gleeboot.
Oh, I think
Yes.
barista. There you go. Just
You're
Just
a
like
recurring, like, randomized
yeah, like,
character.
did you ever watch like Gilmore Girls and like how Kirk had every job in town?
Yeah.
It'll just be like where I've just got all the different jobs. I work at like the movie theater and the coffee shop, and I'm a janitor at the school.
Just do everything. Yeah. So Kurt's at school and he's drawing in his book like hearts, Blaine and Kurt. And Blaine is all like, come on, I have an announcement to like give to the Warblers. And he's like, I want us to perform off campus. And they're all like, what? Freaking out. Gaffles are banged. And Kurt's like, can I speak up? When I was with the New Directions,
Yep.
they we used to sing in front of hostile crowds all the time. It was good for us. Like, we don't want to seem too stuffy because Blaine is like, we're becoming like precious porcelain privileged elites. And so they decide to all sing help Blaine sing to his crush at the Gap. At
The Gap.
Because that's where his crush is.
Gap.
So Kurt is a
Well,
little
it's
crushed
Ohio.
that his crush is not crushing on him.
Wow. Can you put crush in that sentence any more times?
I crushed it.
Nice.
You did.
Where's your punctuation?
Comma. I crushed it.
What a sinking moment, though, to be like, why the Gap? And then just being like, oh, that's
where he works.
my crush works.
He's the junior manager. And then Kurt's
you're like,
face.
"But you're
Also,
the
I couldn't, it was like, is it because he's like, oh, he's a junior manager at the Gap? I was like, oh, okay. That's also kind of, that sucks, I guess.
intimidating." Also, like, which means how old is he? Like, how old are they at this point in season 2?
They're
Like, what, 15, 16? I assume because, like, Quinn had to get a ride home.
Yeah.
They're waiting to get rides home. So I assume they were, like, 15 or 16 years old.
They're juniors. And Blaine
Okay.
is a sophomore.
Okay. So you're, like, 16,
Yeah,
averagely.
Yeah.
So, like, how old is the manager at, like, the Gap?
Well, I mean, that is touched on later.
Over age. He's old enough to party.
Okay, question.
Was what I'm
When
assuming.
Kurt was drawing hearts in his notebook with Kurt and Blaine, does anyone actually do that? in your
Yeah,
notebooks.
I
In
for sure
your
did that when I was
school
a kid.
notebook?
I don't know about my school notebook,
Well,
but I
yeah.
did find a notebook recently, which it'll speak a lot to my character. Like when I was at home, and literally like every 3 pages, it was a new man.
Oh my
Where it was like,
god, that's so
I
cute.
love Blake. And then it was like,
I would never do it in a school
Blake is
notebook
done.
because if you're doing it, if you're drawing that at school and someone looks at it, you're screwed.
Yeah, like you definitely
Well,
can't
yeah,
do it in
people
like
do
that
that all the
auditorium
time.
because like there's like levels unless you sat like in the back. Even then, people would be like, "What are you doing?"
I don't know. It's like,
I feel like he should have gone a bit more subtle and done initials.
yeah.
Initials would have been more subtle.
We're talking about like high class spy network here. You can't let anyone know anything about anything.
Like that journal where you could just like say your passcode. I can't remember what that. Do you guys remember? I think it would only be a girl thing. Unless Cullen, you had it.
I did not have a journal.
Oh no, but there was like all of these like products that were like girl power products, and I wish I could remember like the name of it. But like there was a journal that like was password protected. It was like voice password protected, and you had to like, and then it would like unlock.
Wow, that's
It was
cutting edge
wildly
technology.
sophisticated.
Wow.
Like, how long did it take iPhones to get something like that? And these journals had it in what, like early 2000s? That's amazing.
It was something very Oh god, I'm revealing too much about myself.
Those journals walked so iPhones could run.
Yeah. So they go to the Gap and they have a Gap attack and they sing.
Oh, I don't want to hear that phrase. Gap attack. I hated when I heard that. Oh, it's like New Directions.
We never know which one you're saying.
Exactly.
And then, so what? It's a Robin Thicke song. What's the song again? What's it called?
When I Get You Alone.
Which is not.
I didn't know it was Robin Thicke.
Which is, I think, indicative of the mood.
Oh, God. Wow.
It was a very strange choice, in my opinion.
It was my bop because I remember only listening to it on the album. I did not remember the sequence, so that's kind of like was my focus. But then like now that I know it's Robin Thicke, and then like all the context around like the actual sequence, some things are coming together, and not for the best.
Like it was a fun song to listen to, and I kind of like how they danced with the
mannequins and the
yeah. They used the environment really well.
A mise-en-scène for sure.
Amazing choreography. No idea how they had the time or props to do that. It's
between deciding that they could go perform at the Gap and then being at the Gap. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like a fun number, but in context, that's like a terrible song to ask someone out on a date with.
He was like running after him though.
Yeah.
Like that poor guy had like a sweater in hand, and he was like,
"Can you not take a hint?" He was so incredibly. How do I even? If you could just tell, he did not want.
He was aggressive.
Anything to do with Blaine.
Yeah,
and Blaine was incredibly aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, to quote another Robin Thicke song, "You know you want it," I guess was kind of the idea behind
some
it.
Blurred lines there.
Blurred line. Oh,
we'll get to the Glee cover of Blurred Lines someday.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
What?
I think they do. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yes,
in an episode about twerking.
Absolutely, they do.
God.
Yeah. Oh man. God, I love this podcast.
This is, and that's a long while off too.
Yeah, we'll get there someday.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah. It's okay. Just like actively block it out of your mind so you can be horribly surprised when it happens.
I'll probably forget.
That's
we
what I
all know
plan to do.
Forget.
But then, like, immediately after, Blaine is like, well, this was not the move.
Yeah, he's like, this was too much, wasn't it? And Kurt's just like,
Maybe.
Why didn't anyone say, like, are you sure you want to do this song?
Or, like
did that happen?
That's
what I want to know.
Because I got the vibe that he didn't really like know him during that.
Yeah, that was also really unclear. I was like, how often have you
I was
guys
like,
talked?
Did you just pick this guy?
going
I mean,
on?
like, I get it, like the surfer hair, like the jawline, like sure, but could have had maybe.
He did not look like he lived in Ohio. He definitely lived in California, where this show also
Never met
takes
anyone
place.
who looked like that in the
It's gotta
Midwest.
be.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
It is funny though, because before they do the number, Blaine is like, if we got married, the Gap would give me a 50% discount.
Which is a great line.
Which is like the perfect reason.
And it also assumes that this guy's gonna be working at Gap for like ever.
Or does
Yeah, we
it
don't
assume
know
that,
how-
or does it assume that Blaine thinks they're gonna immediately get married?
Ooh, interesting.
Because that's what I took it to mean, and I
Wow.
was like, wait, what? Hold on.
Interesting. I took it as that like this guy is lifelong careers at the Gap. Like,
Maybe.
that's how I
we
read it.
don't.
This rise in the
Either
ranks.
way,
Well, it's definitely
uncomfortable.
not anymore.
Because he got fired.
Oh no, he did.
Yeah, his boss didn't like it. No one there knew he was gay.
Nobody liked it.
And,
Yeah, that was the underlying thing. Is like everyone actually hated it.
yeah.
No, they didn't. They said that the customers liked it. They were like, "Oh, everyone was into it." And he's like, "Well, my boss wasn't."
The most important person in the room for him was not a fan. So this,
I'm also surprised that guy wasn't more mad. Like that he just got fucking fired
yeah.
because some kid came in and was singing a very aggressive love song at and around his workplace.
Because he's like, you can't just bust a move in people's workplace. He's like, we had coffee 3 times. But then he's like, and you're a minor anyway. And I'm like, what are you doing having coffee with a
Whoa.
minor?
Yeah, like
You
wait,
deserve to be fired.
You knew that part, and you still did the coffee. I think I forgot that. That's icky. See, I was wondering about their ages, but I was like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
So that means he's probably like 18, 19.
Junior manager, like
Which, I mean, I don't know how intensive that is at the Gap. I couldn't
at the
speak to
Gap.
that.
You're not an expert
Yeah,
on the Gap.
retail management in general, but I'm gonna assume he's like 19.
Yeah. Yeah, at least. Like I wouldn't, but I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe the coffee wasn't even like a date thing. Maybe Blaine went to go have coffee with
Oh.
the junior manager.
Or just have
and-
coffee next to him and then just imagine the whole thing and then
Blaine's like, I want to have a lifelong career at the Gap. Can you give me some career advice? Let's
It
go
was
get
an
coffee.
interview for like a mentor thing, and you just imagine the
this guy
whole
just
thing.
legitimately thought the Blaine wanted to work at the Gap. And he's like, I love you.
And you're like, oh, you're
We're gonna
minor.
get married
It's
and I
like,
want
why?
you to count.
50% off.
That's a
That's
really
pretty
good
generous.
discount actually. Like I would see why you'd want to be in that, but he blew it.
Yeah.
He blew his chance.
Yeah.
You blew it.
So then they're at the coffee shop and Blaine
Again.
is all again. Blaine is all like, what's with all the hearts? Oh, I hate this. And Kurt's like, somebody changed their tune. And then Kurt is like, because we've always been honest, I just want to say, and this is surprisingly mature, that like I thought the guy you were talking about when you were talking about you had a crush on someone was me. And he's like, we sing flirty duets together, you know, my coffee order. And then Blaine's like, oh, I really care about you. But so Blaine lets him down easy. Kurt gets his coffee order. So it's kind of like we're left in ship limbo. Like,
Well, it doesn't. He doesn't specifically say I don't want to be that person. He says I don't want to mess this up, which
Yeah.
is a complete
Yeah, and
different
he's
thing.
like, yeah, that's why like limbo I think is a great word because I literally left that scene being like, wait, what's happening?
So
Because he's also like, I'm inexperienced at this whole romance thing. I don't know what I'm doing. And then Kurt says something about Harry met Sally, and then Blaine's like, don't they end up together? And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? I'm so confused.
Yeah, because he's like, let's be here when Harry met Sally, but I get to play Meg Ryan. And then he does the coffee order. Can I get this for Billy Crystal?
yes, which is funny. And again, more pithy dialogue that I don't think I would have been capable of as a high school.
Is it-
It's fine.
Yeah. So that's the end of Lynn and Kurt, but Kurt decides he wants to do something at Breadsticks. He does a Lonely Hearts Club dinner. And Rachel attends, and she sits with Mercedes and Tina and Mike Chang, which I thought was so cute. Like, they're all little friends. And then Santana and Sam are both sitting alone.
They have a look.
They share a look. And Blaine and the Warblers and Kurt sing silly love songs.
Which is cute.
It was a cute end.
That was a cute one. Although I did feel terrible for Sam just like sitting alone. Like, I don't know if I would have like went. I guess I would have, but
Well, it's for lonely hearts.
yeah, just so confused and
because they're like, for some people, love comes late, and they're singing in front of like Puck and Lauren, and then they're like, for some it doesn't come at all, and he sings it in front of Santana, and Santana's look was just like, what the fuck? What did this twerp just say to me?
How dare
she
you?
was like, excuse me.
But it was fun, and like Kurt was pointing like, I love you at like Rachel and Mercedes.
Yes, I thought it was very sweet. That was like another genuine moment. Although it was being intrusive again on how much they like took up in that whatever restaurant or like shop that they were in.
Yeah.
That they just like got to block out like so many tables.
Yeah, I think it was at Breadsticks too, where people were.
Yes,
going for
Breadsticks. It's at Breadsticks. It was like legitimately at a restaurant
on Valentine's Day, which is like they would be booked up with reservations and be like, no, you can't fucking bring all your single
like,
people here.
Get the fuck out. Nobody ordered anything.
Nobody ordered anything.
They were gonna order.
Yeah.
Yes.
They hadn't been asked for their orders yet.
Off screen.
After the initial number.
So in the Gleeboot, I'm just pitching that the song they're gonna sing for the Lonely Hearts Club is Solo. It is a new Carly Rae Jepsen B-side for her album Dedicated. And it's So What You're Not...
Who is not sponsoring us at all.
But she should be, because I promote her music so much.
Free plug. Free
Do you talk
plug.
about Carly Rae Jepsen?
Yes.
Incessantly? I love it.
She recently released
Yeah,
B-side.
she's the backbone.
And why wouldn't you?
And so the B-side, the song is Solo, and she's like, so what, you're not in love? Don't go wasting your time getting so low. Dance by yourself, all so low. I'm paraphrasing.
Mm.
But she rhymes so low and so low.
Uh-huh. I see.
And I think it'd be a great song for the Warblers to sing in this moment.
Okay.
I'm into it.
I have a suggestion for the Gleeboot too.
Yeah?
We eradicate Valentine's Day as a holiday.
Oh.
Alyssa has the most insane smile right now.
Is that the plot, or like that's going to be our purpose as a show?
Do they still live in Ohio?
Okay.
In the Gleeboot? Or like, obviously, you know, I mean, you know kind of where it takes off.
I feel like if we have the same characters or like offshoots, it would make sense to keep
Or at least
in
some
Ohio.
of them.
But if we decide to choose like different characters, it could be fun to choose like a different city.
I like Ohio as
Or a
the
different
setting
state.
because show choir is very Midwestern.
I was like the Midwestern aspect of it
True.
was like one of the main things that did attract me to it. I don't know where you guys grew up, like Hannah,
That's true,
and
that's
like,
true.
but like
No,
being,
we're all from the Midwest.
oh, okay, I was like being from
Oh, yeah.
Michigan, like, you know how like when people are like, oh, like welcome to Troy, and everyone's like, I love Detroit, like I live here, like having that, like I feel like it's so not seen to have like these shows in the
Yeah,
Midwest.
I mean they call us the flyover states for a reason.
Right. So I a lot of the humor for me like was grounded in just like that sensibility.
Yeah, I like the setting of the Midwest because it like the economic disparity feels more real and like
It just feels more down to earth.
yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like, down to earth. And you need that for a show like Glee. You need any element that'll be slightly down to earth.
Yes, the true
Yeah.
underdogs have to live in true underdog regions.
True, exactly. So
The other option would be Florida.
Oh my god, but that would be like a whole different show, I feel like, because then it would just be all this crazy stuff.
There'll be a lot of country.
Sue would bring an
music.
alligator into the choir room. Yeah.
Right, like
She would have wrestled the alligator in the choir room, be like, I'm using this for my wrestling practice.
Yes.
the whole like back plot where
Wrestle an
Rachel,
alligator.
instead of like send someone to like a meth lab instead of like that empty crack, like she just sends someone to
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
to get them
Yeah,
out
'cause-
of the Glee Club so she can have a solo.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys remember her? Sunshine
Yeah.
Corazon? How many episodes has it
A
been?
lot.
Many.
We haven't even mentioned her since then.
Oh, okay. I'm
Wait.
glad. I was like, I think that I was in the right zone, but I didn't want to say anything. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was literally the first. I literally thought about this the other day, how that was the first episode of the season, and then I'm like, wait a second. Like I saw her pop up on Gleeboot's Tumblr dash, and I was like, wait a second, Sunshine Corazon. I remember
Yeah.
that name.
She was good too.
Blaine has a funny line where he's like, "This was the most humiliating experience of my life, and I performed at theme parks."
I
thought
did-
that
I
was
did
funny.
like that.
Yeah.
Because I imagine him at Cedar Point, like performing with like the Snoopy.
Oh, of course, yeah, like in Snoopy Land,
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah. So now we have one storyline left.
Oh no.
I saved the worst for last. Puck and Lauren. Porin. As I
Luck.
like Porin as their couple name because it sucks.
Yeah, Luck is
Too generous, too nice.
is too-
Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
good. Oh my god, though. Start to finish.
I don't fucking understand
I think
it.
that's like because I haven't watched this show in a long time, and then like reintroducing that and like a whole bunch of just like, oh yeah, this show was like really weird sometimes. Most of
Yeah.
the time, but particularly like that storyline. Man,
It's rough.
yeah, take it away, Cullen, if you want. I don't even remember where it began.
So it opens with Lauren is eating chocolates in class and Puck's watching her. And he's
This is one of 3 VOs in this
Yes.
episode, by the way.
There's so many voiceovers.
Puck, Finn, and
Oh.
Santana. I'll get a voiceover. And Puck is like, I'm in love with Lauren Zizes. Like, even though she's on like the heavier side, I love her curves and some other thing. And it's like, I can have any girl that I want, but I want Lauren. And he's like, and here I am sitting in English or geometry or whatever, thinking of her. And then afterward, Lauren is like, stare at me again and I'll crack one of your nuts. I'm like, thank you. Please do. And she's like, and also these chocolates sucked. And he's like, well, you ate all of them. So he had to make sure they all sucked.
I loved that. I thought that's iconic. Where she's like, yeah, these chocolates that you gave me sucked. And he's like, but you ate all of them. He's like, I had to make sure they all sucked.
That is pretty iconic.
Just like what?
And she, so she is not happy with Puck, and Puck then defends her when Santana is like, you just have it out for me because you're moving in on my man. And Puck is like, I'm not your man. And he's like, and Lauren's like, I don't need a man to stand up for me, but thank you.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait. That's not
Wait.
standing up for her.
We missed the song.
No, we're
Did
getting
we-
to the
wait,
song. We're
Wait, that happened also
Yeah,
before the song, too?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I must
The-
have blacked
yeah,
the-
it's
out.
not
yeah,
standing up for her.
the-
No, he said, I'm not her man. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
That's standing up for yourself.
When was
This was
this?
when Santana was like, I keep it real and I'm hilarious. And Lauren was like, actually, you're just a bitch.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because this is like, and she came like outside, like at the lockers or whatever, and she was like, "I don't need anybody."
Also,
to
like, all of
help
a
me."
sudden, everyone's just, like, jumping on Santana in this episode. Was that ever prefaced? Or did they just decide to be like, you know what? We're going to decide Santana is a bitch, and we're going to call her out for it today. And I'm like, okay.
She said something mean to Finn,
Wow.
and Finn was like, how come you have to be on people all the time? And then everyone jumped on the train.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And now all of a sudden everyone has the courage to be like, Santana, you suck. And she's like, wait, this is Valentine's Day week. I don't have time for
Maybe
this.
because she's not a cheerleader anymore, so people feel like they can stand up to her.
Maybe.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, she is in her street clothes, her Lima Heights
Lima Heights
adjacent
they're just sick of
attire.
her nonsense. They're just...
Why is it that all of the cheerleaders who are not cheerleaders wear headbands?
Maybe they don't like hair in their face because they've always had it in a ponytail.
If they didn't like hair in their face, they would wear their headbands without bangs.
I don't know.
I can't answer this question.
No, it's too much. It boggles the mind.
Too deep.
So, where are we in this mess?
Okay, so it was the
yeah.
lead up to the song, basically.
Basically, yeah. So she's like, I want a formal presentation if you think it's that easy to ask me out on Valentine's Day. Laura says that to Puck.
Needs
so
like a
Puck,
wooing.
A wooing. She's like, I need to be wooed.
Was this when she says, I spell woman Zizes?
Yes.
I loved that.
Lauren has some good lines.
Yeah, she does.
And then, so Puck sings Fat Bottom Girls, and he has like the whole Glee Club join in and sing it.
And nobody thought that was an issue.
Yep, that was my sings an 80s song and a song that's inappropriate for teens, and Shu doesn't stop them from saying anything offensive.
Yeah, jeez.
I was watching this with my boyfriend, and he was like, this is like my favorite song, and I had to subject him to that. And then he's like, after it was over, he's like, Freddie has died twice now.
Oh no.
So he was like
just
really
appalled.
offended by it. Also, it was just a really bad cover. Like, it felt like it was badly mixed / Puck's voice wasn't very good.
No, it didn't feel like the situation or the way that it sounded or anything about it was right.
Yeah. It was wrong.
It literally... Yeah, like, the context obviously is, like, whatever. But just, like, from a, like, production standpoint, it just really didn't sound good. I don't think I've ever heard the solo track, like, the iTunes track. Yeah, we'll not be seeking it out.
You're like, I'm good.
Doesn't sound good in the show.
And, I mean, Rachel and Will both make looks of, like, is this appropriate? But they don't stop it. And then Tina's, like, bopping in the background, and I was, like, writing in my notes, I love Tina in the background, because he's just, like, having a good time.
Right. She's not here for the drama.
She loves love.
Yeah. And... yeah, so he thinks Fat Bottom Girls, and Puck's like, what did you think? She's like, that was the first time anyone ever sang a love song to me. And it made me feel like crap. And she walks away.
Which sucks.
Valid.
Like,
I was really afraid that they were going to just have her, like, be serenaded. I was very
like that was
afraid
going to do it
that.
for her?
Yes. I was very scared.
Interesting.
Because I have no faith in Glee. So I was actually kind of pleased that she was not pleased.
Yeah, not the move. Wasn't the woo.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, that wouldn't be anyone's woo. I don't think that's what anyone's version of, like, feeling desired.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about, like, Puck decided to choose this song because he's focusing on, like, her physicality. And, like, I don't know. It was just really uncomfortable.
Well,
so, like, I really felt for Lauren.
Because Puck thinks he's better than her.
He does.
At the end of the day, he thinks he's better than her.
So he thinks... I don't understand why he chose the song, because, Hannah, you're right. He's talking about her physicality, but by the end of this, he is, like, admitting that the reason why he likes her is because of the way that she acts.
She's a badass. Yeah, because she's a badass.
So that choice of song doesn't make any sense.
Find a song that talks about that. Like, it kind of feels like he didn't know how to express.
Yeah, I think that's like an
what he
idiot, dumb
her.
boy way of being like, I think you know, you're hot.
I like the way
Yeah,
you look.
Yeah,
and
that's
even
what
though
it
it's
feels
like
like.
a completely
'Cause
offensive way.
You don't have to, like, it's not like I don't know how to explain my...
Yeah, I don't know what the solution to this is except for maybe cut it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just think twice. Yeah.
So then Santana is upset, and she's just like, no. And so she goes to Jared. She comes back with like a heart, and she gives Puck the receipt. She's like, I went to Jared. You made your point. We can discuss this at Breadsticks. I get it. I can be kind of a bitch. I'll try and be a nicer person and tell Lauren not to, and warn her about poachers that might think she's the great white rhino or something.
Which
And
is
Lauren
crazy mean.
Yeah, because Lauren is like, excuse me? And then she's like, oh, hi, you're a beautiful person, but get out of my way before I ends you. And then that's where she's like, I'm from Lima Heights adjacent. And then...
Which I love
on
because
the wrong
it
side
comes
of the
up
tracks.
so much for being from Lima Heights adjacent, which I don't know what that really means. like I get, but is it actually called Lima Heights adjacent? Or is she just saying that she's adjacent to Lima Heights and wherever that's from is like the stick side? Yeah.
Who knows?
I just want to know. I just want to know where she lives.
And then Lauren basically kicks her ass.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to say about that? It was like a 2-minute long scene.
It was a long, drawn-out fight.
She ragdolled her.
She literally picks her up and throws her against the lockers like 3 times. I was mostly just taken aback by the fact that like this is the second time that 2 girls have been fighting over Puck, and I just don't understand it. Like, he's awful.
You don't get the allure of Noah Puckerman.
I don't get the allure of Noah Puckerman.
No.
I want that on the t-shirt. I just don't get the allure of Noah Puckerman.
That's so funny. Which I don't think you were here, but yeah, my Glee boyfriend is Sam Evans, so I'm totally with you.
Why? Why do all you guys get the good people and I get the sexist
Who did you
get? Artie.
Oh, okay. Which is fine.
Wow, that was a judging silence. I mean, also, please pray for me.
No, that's cool. Sweet.
I promise I'm not a terrible person.
Yeah, so there's this long fight scene, and she like throws Santana down the hall, and Coach Beast comes in and like is like, "Hey, move it off. Let's get you to the nurse," and basically carries Santana like a
yes. I laughed so hard. She literally carries her like a potato sack over her shoulders.
Yeah. And then Puck is like, please go out with me. And Lauren is like, give me a formal presentation and I'll consider. So then he's like, later they're in the library and Puck is like, what is this place? And Lauren is like, the library? Have you never
Which
been
is like,
here?
what?
And he's like, will you go out with me? And she's like, I see no muffin basket, no envelope of cash. I asked for a formal presentation. And he's like, I sang a song to you. And she's like, an offensive song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
she's not into it. Yeah.
She's not into it, but he offers her ring pop. And is like, will you go out with me? And she's like...
He kneels on one knee.
He does get down on one knee.
Her a ring.
Like a proposal.
Yes.
And she accepts the proposal.
Which is already unwrapped, which is like also gross, but fine.
Yeah.
But was this when he was like, we're gonna be too busy macking out, and she like scoffs kind of.
But she's kind of into
that was
it.
Really funny.
She was like,
yeah, she was like, oh my god. I thought that was
50
really
Shades
funny.
of Grey now. So,
yeah. Oh.
Okay, that's really funny.
And then she's like, leave before I change my mind. But then she ends up standing him up, and Puck makes out with a married waitress. And she's like, my dad was a drug addict, so losers turn me on.
Oh yeah, because the lady was like, your break's over. Like, call your husband.
she's so like self-aware that she's like, yeah, I have daddy issues. You're part of
Does
those
he still like
issues
keep
now.
making out even though the lady comes out and like tells her? Like,
Yeah.
I think it like turns him on. She's like, yeah, your husband called,
and he's
and
like,
then they like
yeah,
look
they're
at
like,
each other and start
"Ugh."
making out again. Oh, my husband's waiting for me. That's hot. Gross.
Maybe they're in Lima Heights adjacent.
That's where breadsticks is.
Yeah, that's where that behavior is
Oh my
encouraged.
And so then Puck approaches Lauren about standing him up, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I guess we had a date." He's like, "I like you, not because you're on the heavier side, because earlier he said something. You look like you, something really gross like that."
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was a really
Like
awkward
you look like the
line.
way you do or whatever. Yeah,
And she's like, "I look the way
And it's like,
America
oh.
looks."
she
Which
did.
was-
Yeah,
She did
Solid.
say that to him. Yeah. And then, so then she's like, "Okay, but I'm not looking to just fool around," because he's like, "I'm not that kind of guy. Like, other guys may have treated you badly." And she's like, "Well, first off, you got a girl pregnant last year, so you are." Second off, why do you assume guys treat me badly? I can take care of myself. And I'm like, "Thank you, Lauren." But she's like, "We can take it slow and just be friends. We'll go out on Valentine's Day." So I guess he gets what he wants. And that's the end of that. Any more comments on that?
his. I think super underrated. We didn't talk about it, but they did PYT,
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson. I thought that was one of my favorite songs that they did the whole episode.
I remember the song, but I don't remember where it happened.
I don't really
So
remember. It was Mike Chang and Artie's song.
Yeah.
Somewhere
They were like,
it was
someone
somewhere
just
like
walking down the hallway, and they were like, "Can you believe it? Like two guys like us have the hottest girls in the school." PYT.
And then they sing PYT.
it was literally after, I think it was after Puck's song. It just like randomly happened.
Yeah, it's not really connected to any
was-
larger storyline.
No,
It's
they just
just
wanted to squeeze it
PYT.
in, but it was a good one.
It was like the writer saying, "Okay, here are all the people who are actually in relationships right now."
Yeah. And they sang, it was a bop.
Yeah,
I like Pretty Young Thing.
Yeah.
I like Michael
It's-
Jackson.
it's a solid cover. I mean, like it's cute. Like I thought that was a cute one. Got to see
Yeah.
more dancing and stuff. So that was
I'm always here for Mike Chang's dancing.
yeah, a highlight for me. Obviously, I think the low point was Fat Bottom Girl.
Yeah. So that leads into the next portion of the show. Tina time.
So Tina, according to our count this week, got a total of 6 lines.
So
And
a
a
Song.
Kind of.
Well, she got like
Sort of.
half the song.
She got a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah. So it was a good week for Tina,
Yeah, it was actually
It was a bit
yeah.
fruitful.
and that leads into our next section: MVPs and LVPs. So Emily, this is where we go around and we first list our least valuable player, so our least favorite character this week, and then we go around and we list our favorite character.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you had to think of a least favorite character this week, do you want to start or do you want us to start and then we'll get to
Sure. Least favorite in action. Unfortunately, I mean, like both like tied, but I think Quinn was being really shady this episode. It was just like a big shade fest where like once she kind of gaslit Sam into being like,
Mhm.
no, like you're being stupid, like there's nothing going on when clearly there was, and the whole cheating aspect, like, and playing it off like, ugh, all these bad things happen to me because of like of my choices, but like, so I thought that was just like, I don't know, distasteful for Quinn.
Makes sense.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just like because I haven't watched it in a while, and so just like seeing that like low moment, I was like, man, like she's not doing well. She kind of sucks right now.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
Glee character. One episode they're your favorite, the next they're your least. Hannah, who's your least favorite this week?
I'm gonna go with Blaine. I thought it was like really aggressive that he decided to have this big show in the middle of the gap for this guy he barely knew. I just kind of felt like it was way too much. Yeah, I thought it was very
Over the top for you,
didn't
yeah.
care for it. Yeah. Also, then he swung so far the other way. He was like, "Oh, Valentine's Day is the worst," and it's like, okay, calm down.
I know people who do that though.
He got to moderate a little.
Yeah, he needs to chill out just a little bit.
Okay.
Alyssa?
I'm gonna go with Santana. She's kind of classically the villain in this episode, but I'm really surprised that she did not cause an epidemic of mono. Like,
True.
I
I
really
mean,
want
she
them to
did
be-
kiss someone who was working at Kissing Booth, who like then went to
Yes!
kiss like a bunch of other people.
Yes,
I was
waiting for
Yeah.
that. Yes.
This has to be in the Gleeboot at some point when we have a kissing booth without the Valentine's holiday.
Right,
and-
because it's scratched.
Yes, we don't have Valentine's, but we'll still have.
So when would there be a kissing booth?
During the Corn Festival.
Sweetest day.
Just in October.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Or we could skip out on Valentine's Day and do White Day.
It could be like She's the Man, where
Do
there's like a
what?
carnival and there was like a kissing booth there.
Yes.
It could be like
White
that kind of
Day-
situation.
White Day is a thing that Japan does where Valentine's Day is a day for girls to tell guys that they like them. White Day is the day that guys tell girls that they like them.
I didn't know that.
It's really interesting. It's definitely not as popular. Big surprise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a fun little fact there.
Okay.
Shu walks in the classroom. All right, guys, we're doing White Day, and then he gives the history of that. I
And
can
then
see
everyone's
it
like,
now.
oh no.
And then the men all sing really inappropriate songs.
Glee.
Okay,
My least favorite
Cullen,
this week.
yeah.
Puck. Can't believe
Okay.
no one else said him.
There's a lot of awful people in this episode.
It's a
I
rough
was like,
week.
everyone's acting, very
Yeah,
out of
because
sorts.
Rachel also it was between Rachel and Santana for me because they're. I don't know, it's just there's a ton people are being idiots.
Lauren wasn't mean enough to Puck. Because of all the factual
Yeah.
things he implied and said to her. Like,
Yeah.
you look like you, the way you look, and yeah, you're on the heavier side. But I
She
do hate
did-
that.
Acquiesce pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she should not have been throwing Santana around. She should have been throwing Puck around. He's the one that should have
Yeah.
been thrown into the lockers. Because
I would like that.
he sucks.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
sucking all around.
Yeah. And not just on that ring pop.
Yeah.
Wow, good one.
Emily, who is your favorite character this week?
Oh man. The barista who had to take, no, I'm kidding. Poor Cullen
An unseen
Callaghan.
character.
No, I think Tina, because I could not stop laughing at My Funny Valentine. I think that was just a highlight of a moment. I was having a day, and then I saw that. I was like, that's just the best thing. So, yeah, she was so into love in that episode. So unproblematic. So dramatic, but
So overcome by
Yes.
emotion.
I'm also messy, so.
Hannah?
My answers go together because this is kind of the storyline that like was the easiest for my brain to tackle today, so I latched onto it. My MVP is Kurt. I thought he was actually really brave to be like to tell Blaine that like, hey, this is actually what I thought was happening. Like he totally risked their friendship by being like, this is what I thought was going on. And yeah, I thought that was like I think someone said like oddly
It is
mature for him. But I appreciated like his bravery in that moment because like it could have gotten really awkward, but he like stood up and was like, this is what happened, and it ended up paying off for him to be like, you know what, it's cool, we're still friends. Yeah, I thought it was really great. Go Kurt.
Go, Kurt.
I think I'm also going to go with Kurt for lack of other good characters.
Yeah, it was like people were hella problematic on Valentine's Day.
Tina was funny. She was funny, but she didn't do much. Kurt had a little bit more.
What a messy bitch.
Yeah. So yeah, everything that Hannah said.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna go with Mike Chang.
There we go. Yes.
I was really about Mike Chang this week. I loved his little dance, and I loved his love for Tina. They have such a wholesome relationship.
Also unproblematic, yeah.
Therapy, so.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There were no jokes about them both being Asian this week.
Which is
You know
crazy
what else is
to me.
crazy? The fact that there was no shoe storyline about him being alone on Valentine's Day.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, they didn't like go into him at all. And also they didn't use a couple name, which was on bingo, and I was really listening for that. But
I know,
I didn't
too.
but a lot of them were like in flux and not like super coupled up. So
So
yeah.
this episode was terrible, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of check marks on my bingo board, and I'm like, wow, we got pretty close to a full card.
Yeah. So what was your least favorite song this week?
do I have to say it? I feel like it's gotta be
Everyone on the count
Yeah.
of 3.
1, 2,
2.
3. Fat
Fat
Bottom
Bottom
Girl.
Fat Bottom
It
Girls!
was
Yay!
just so awkward, and I agree that it wasn't like really super like executed well and just like all around
No.
very uncomfortable.
So bad. Like, it just doesn't even sound good. And like, that's a song that, like, if I hear on the radio, I can listen along to it. Not great in this form. And then the context just like makes it 1,000 times worse.
And you're just like impressionable teenagers and like knowing like how you feel in that time. Like I feel like Lauren Zicey is actually a very like confident like character to be
Yeah,
so
she
like
is.
She's very self-actualized.
to be so like cool in her skin, to be like, no, like boys treat me like just fine, like I'm good, like I don't need you, I don't need, you know, anybody to tell me that I'm a
Mhm.
certain way. So good for her for the reaction, because I probably would have told my mom. I don't know.
Would have told my mom.
My mom would have called the principal.
That should be an
Paula
episode
would have
of
gotten
Glee.
involved.
Paula would be there.
Paula.
So, Emily, what was your favorite song this week?
Okay, I liked Fireworks. I was into the mood. I bought what she sold for me. It was random, but like she seemed at least content in that moment, and I was content for her to kind of just be like, she got to let go a little bit after harboring all of that, like, I'm not pretty enough, even though she's just fine.
Yeah, I feel that. Hannah?
Ooh, sorry. I am gonna go with Silly Love Songs.
So cute.
It's just a really
It was
good
very cute.
cover because like the Warbler sounds so good. I think better in like slower songs. Like some of the like When I Get You Alone, like it was a bop, but I was also like, I don't know if I can really sing along to this. But Silly Love Songs I thought was really, really
That
great.
was a fun one. I like Pretty Young Things. PYT.
It was good. I'm a sucker for all the 80s music, so I thought that was that's a fun one too.
I was singing along the whole time to that one. And we got to watch Mike Chang dance. So,
Bonus.
hit all of those checkbox.
I'm also going with Firework. Surprising no one, I pick a Katy
Wow.
Perry song.
I was like, yeah, it
What?
tracks for both of us.
I just love that anthem about being yourself and like being special even when you feel down. And I bought what she sold, as you said. I got Rachel in that moment, and I was happy for her.
Yeah.
Did you want to join the kids in the background with
did.
sparklers?
Yes. I wanted to be a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is that our time?
Sorry, this is a phone alarm.
That's it.
It's 10:15, guys.
But that is kind of the end of the episode. Emily, is there any social medias you'd like to plug?
If you want, you can follow me on like Snapchat or Instagram, which is just my last name and then my first name. So McGeeEmily. So Emily McGee, or you can look me up on Facebook. But it's a very common name, so you'll have to find
You
me.
have to
It said,
You have to
oh,
smooth.
it's the basic bitch.
Or
yeah.
follow a bunch of
Yeah,
Emily
all of
McGee's.
It's the 90s starter pack name. But yeah, McGee Emily, if you want to. I think I just have a post right now about a Nancy Drew novel that's on my story.
Cool.
That's Danger on the Great Lakes. And my joke right now is everybody on their boats ignoring Corona because it's Memorial Weekend. Danger on the Great Lakes.
Yep.
True. Too true. Haha. Hannah, do you want to plug our SoMe's?
Sure. So we are on Instagram and Twitter at Gleeboot Pod, and then also on Tumblr, gleebootpodcast.tumblr.com.
No, it's the other way.
gleebootpod.tumblr.com. I know things.
I'm following you guys on Instagram. I don't think I did before. But thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I am honored, and this has been so
Oh my God,
fun.
thank you.
Anytime that you want me to do this, let me know.
Yeah, we can definitely have you back. We had a lot of fun. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at yourboyryan99. You can follow me on YouTube at YABOI Ryan. And Alyssa?
You can follow me on Instagram at a.m.swearingen, SWEARINGEN. I do art stuffs. Okay.
Ooh.
Emily, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes, I really appreciate it. This is like the highlight of the week.
Thank you, Emily, for coming on. And we had so much fun, and we hope our listeners did too. Tune in next week for an episode of Glee. I think it's a Justin Bieber episode. So,
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun, guys. Okay, bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hate Valentine's Day. Stay. 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 Stay.